Questions?
Well, it was a heck of a basketball game. I don't think the score is very indicative of how that game really was. If I'm not mistaken, we were down 54-51, and they score 3 points the rest of the way. I have no explanation for 61% field goal percentage defense, and then to be able to turn that around and give up 4 baskets and go 13.8% the second half. Other than, obviously, we had a little bit different commitment, a little bit different passion, and a little bit different focus defensively coming out of the locker room. And I think that speaks well about our kids, that they can refocus, regroup, and come back and do that kind of job. I don't think there's any doubt in anybody that watched the game tonight, the best defender on the floor is, and that's Dominique Dillingham. Whether she was guarding 00 or 15, in the second half, whoever it was, they didn't have much of a chance. Dominique had 5 steals, 4 in the second half, gets 7 rebounds, 3 offensive, makes a big shot, down the stretch there, makes a big jump shot. But between her, obviously Morgan comes in and she just energizes the whole building. Has a different level that she brings the ball down the floor. She gets a chance to sit there and watch and learn from JJ and kind of see what needs to be altered, fixed, stay the same. And then Victoria just flat made up her mind coming out of the locker room. She'd had enough and decided to hook up and play. And she kind of took over the ball game there for a little bit of the stretch of the game. So, again, proud of our kids. Again, great basketball game. You got to take your hat off to Arkansas. They had a great plan coming in. Obviously, they had us on our heels for the first 25, 28 minutes, 30 minutes of the game. And, Jimmy and his staff, they did a great job preparing. And I knew it'd be like this, y'all. I've been prepared for this. I knew it'd be a knockdown, drag out. They played Texas A&M to, basically dead even, lose at the buzzer on the tip end. And they've had some big wins. They were in the top 25 earlier in the year. So it's a good basketball team. They're going to win some games and a bunch of games the rest of the way. And I'm glad they're out of our way because they're really tough, very, very focused team, very smart.
When asked after the game about Dominique and if to comment about her toughness, Coach Dykes said that he didn't see any Dominique any tougher than any of his kids. Not to respond to that, but just knowing what he said that, can you talk about the toughness that she had in just ripping the ball out of 2 of their players' hands at 2 times to get steals?
Yeah, not only that, getting some really tough rebounds too. I mean, I recruited Dominique because of her toughness, so I'll leave it at that. I mean, the kid's toughest, hardest, nose kid on our team, her and Savannah, and we recruited both those kids because of their toughness, their energy, not for their jump shot. She plays 30 minutes. I can't get her off the floor. Doesn't matter. Nothing else matters. The kid guards the other team's best players every night, doesn't say anything about it, just goes and does her job. She wasn't, just presented with a bouquet of roses at halftime tonight, and she came out and responded like a pro does. Took some responsibility and came out the second half and took care of her job. And, that was big for us in the second half. So all I'll say is I ain't trading her for anybody. And I'm glad she's on my team. If I'd had to play against her tonight, I probably wouldn't have won.
You said from the start that your freshmen don't really play like freshmen. That moment's really too big for them, and Morgan has 5 big points, and Victoria hits shots. Just talk about their play tonight and having a big night for them.
How old are you, Dom?
19.
Okay, so I got 2 19-year-olds. How are you? 18. So we got a bunch of young kids up here after our 3rd SEC win. We just set the record. Opening in SEC at Mississippi State. We've already set the record for most games won in a row. And a lot of times I'm coming up here with 1, 2, or all 3 of them. And I just, again, this game, these 3 have had great success throughout their careers. We didn't settle for any of these 3. These were our top picks. They're great players. I was really encouraged tonight in that Victoria knew at halftime she hadn't done a good job defensively on 33, but she also knew she probably didn't play real good offensively either. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
And so she came out the second half and just decided, hey, I've had enough. it wasn't anything anybody said other than she's just smart enough to know, and she took over the game there for a little bit. So all of these kids have tremendous skill sets. They have great confidence, and rightfully so. And just guess what? Their head coach has got great confidence in them too. And so, down the stretch, we're calling their number, because that's our best option. It has been all year, from day one.
Dom, when you look at the box score, your line, what stands out the most? I won't give you mine because I already circled it, so, and he probably, that's not fair, you circled stuff probably.
The steals, 5 steals.
Can you talk about those 2 possessions where, just like you take the candy from somebody that had taken it from you, you're just taking it back?
Well, we worked on it every day at practice, denying handoffs. So, I don't think they were expecting me to be in the passing lane. So, just working on it every day in practice makes me ready for the game.
Did anything change in the second half defensively? Obviously, big difference in field goal percentage, but anything change the intensity level or anything defensively?
I think we just decided to hook up and guard. We had enough of them. To win the game, we had to get a stop. So once we started getting stops, and we played harder. So I think that was a big difference.
Victoria, what was it like for you coming out of halftime? What kind of motivation did you have? 9 straight points to start the second half.
My teammates and my coaches motivated me.
Did you kind of take it upon yourself that it seemed like you were a little more aggressive too, to listen to them and actually try to execute a little more for yourself?
Yeah, listening to them and listening to the coaches, that motivates me, and the crowd does too, the fans. So getting hooked up and all that kind of motivates me to go.
Morgan, I think last year Savannah was the energizer off, to give the team a little bit of a lift. How much do you think that you kind of embraced that role, and if you think you have, how much do you like that role?
I like it, but I haven't been doing it as much. My coach always tell me, Morgan, I need you to get back to moving, going faster and faster because I've been going slow. So you want me to be a spark plug, so when I get on the floor, I need to make the pace go faster. He said, we're sprinting, and then we need to go faster when I get out there. So I got to set the pace, and we got to make better decisions, fast break. So I like it because I like going fast.
Victoria, for you, your best offensive game, at least in the SEC. 3 games through, how have you been adjusting or learning how the SEC game is compared to, obviously the non-conference?
It's a lot faster, a lot harder. So adjusting it was kind of hard, but I'm steady progress and trying to get into it.
Dick, you talked about getting 3 to start SEC play, but don't get to celebrate this very long. Vanderbilt's right around the corner. Just talk about
You
that.
got to get ready for the next one. It's just the next one up. And, got to go on the road. You're going to play in a gym. They're going to see where the benches are on each end of the in-line. Point guard play becomes very, very important because they're going to be away from me the first half. The second half, they'll be in front of me, but then my defenses be, obviously with their back facing me, but it's different. It's unique. But, hey, we're not scared. We'll go in there with a great game plan. These kids will be relaxed and ready to go on the road. Vanderbilt's well coached, but I couldn't pick a better group to go in there with. I'm telling you that right now. I love these kids. I love their toughness. I love their resilience. I'm almost mad that they can give up 61% the first half and then have the audacity to come out and hold somebody to 13%. I want both, but at the same time, I'm awfully proud, and it really shows me what kind of, what they're all about. That they can take that halftime and realize, hey, we got to do better on that. We can't be trading baskets with people letting them shoot 61%, and to take ownership in that. We came out the second half, and Victoria was going to make some shots because I called her number about 5 straight times. I was going to get that kid untracked. And we've had some talks this week, but, it is hard. People are focused on her. People are focused on Martha. And, that's part of the learning curve. And so, but, going to Vanderbilt, hey, we'll have to be ready because they'll have a great game plan. Another very smart team like tonight's team. I think Arkansas is very smart. And they had a good plan. We saw how they attacked us, and so we'll have to go to Vanderbilt. But, hey, I'm glad I got the 14 with me that I'm taking with me, I'll tell you that.
Vic, I think there was 11-2 run in the second half that gave you the lead, and Victoria and Morgan had 8 of that 11. For the players who aren't playing, don't know the league as well as you, how difficult is that for 2 freshmen to kind of spark that lead late in the second half to propel you to the win?
Well, I think it's hard for freshmen that aren't capable. I think that'd be the best way to say it. I think, again, I know we're young, but you know what? We're 18 games in now, so I'm going to tell them they're not freshmen anymore. I think the experience they've had now they'd say the same thing. And again, I'm calling their number. You know, I've got confidence in them to be able to make those decisions and make those shots. So I'm very comfortable calling their number right now, and they're delivering, and they have all year. So, hey, confidence comes from a good skill set, and if your head coach has got confidence in you, you ought to have confidence in yourself, because I'm not going to call somebody's number that I don't think can deliver.
You said earlier that the 5 steals on the stat line for yourself was the thing that stood out the most for you. That doesn't chart the number of charges taken or the fact that you typically guard the other team's best player. How do you like that those are other key aspects of your game and those are really kind of intangible things that you
I think I just like doing whatever it is to help the team win. I mean, I don't mind doing all that. I like guarding the best player on the other team. So it's just something to help my team.
Morgan, if I was to ask you one word that describes her, what would it be?
She posts us up on the court. Like, we get a sorry.
No, you were called fine.
Juice.
Victoria, how about you?
Describe Dawn. Toughness.
Why do you say that?
Because she is tough.
Does she guard you at all in practice?
And then we on the same team. Oh, sometimes.
What is that like?
Yeah, we out.
What is that like to have her guard you?
I mean, I try to go with her. She's my teammate, but we gotta play each other, aggressive. So she's basketball.
Morgan, Victoria talked about hearing the crowd, and I think there were 3 times in this game where there were some oohs and ahs when you crossed someone up. Do you hear that as a player? And if you do, what's kind of your reaction?
Yeah, I hear it, but I don't really see it like the players most of the time. I like it. I like get the crowd in the game. It gets me pumping. Then I hear coach on the side like, stop, work, stop. But I like getting the crowd in the game.
Hey, when we've had some great crowds, and again, I appreciate. I know it was late tonight and it's cold outside, and we had 3,550, and just, you know, that building is completely different, y'all, than 2 years ago. You know, and it's become a distinct home court advantage. And hey, these kids love playing to that. Obviously, they feed off of it. Again, I think they have a great identity with our fans. Our fans have a great love for the way these kids play. And it certainly makes me proud to be their head coach.
Morgan, you said that you feel that we should have playing slower lately.
Yeah.
Why do you think that? And what do you attribute that to?
I guess SEC, like first 3 games. I'm not gonna say I'm scared, but I gotta get the feel for it. Girls bigger and faster than it was during preseason. So I don't want to just go in there and like get my shot blocked. So I really didn't timid to go in there because I know this position. It's all close talk about positions. So I've been banging out. But now I went in today because we haven't found trouble. Get them on the heels together.
What do you think it's going to be like for you once you get that comfort level with the style of play, the pace of play? How much do you think that it'll, once you get that comfort level, you'll be able to play with the speed that you want?
It's gonna be scary for other opponents.
Any other questions?
Vic, could you talk about Morgan's first step? It seems like it's maybe a step quicker, especially off the dribble too with the ball. Do you kind of see that too, that first step for her maybe stands out a little bit?
she's got a bunch of fast steps. And that first one obviously is, especially when she's got just a little bit of a hesitation to her, or just a little bit of a raised head. And that's the part that you try to teach these kids when they're trying to beat somebody off the bounce. It's that change of speed. It's just that little bit of a head shake. And with her, you know, I just think it's awfully hard for anybody to guard her off the bounce. When she's got that pep in her step, they got to get way off of her. And she made a big three tonight, I think, and that, again, that just adds to her game. Her ball handling's really come along. You know, she's got that crossover behind her leg that is very unusual, that allows her to keep moving forward. And so, you know, her first step, I'm telling you, I've coached a lot of point guards in my day, lots of quick basketball players. I don't know that I've coached a faster player. And again, when we got going in transition tonight, that's kind of when we got, you know, going. That's when the juice started going. That's when the crowd got into it. But we couldn't do that when we were letting them shoot 61%. Once we got stops and we were able to push it, then we got going. And and our kids like to play that way. You know, I like to coach that. So I'm much happier coaching a transition game than a half-court set it up game.
Any other questions?
Hey, appreciate y'all. We're giving God the glory He instilled in these young ladies tonight, the tremendous effort, and appreciate everybody that was here tonight. Praise the Lord and go Dogs.